Well, it's the day after the nationwide 5G rollout, and I still only have 2 little bars of cell coverage. Yep. And it says 4G. Of course, I don't think the old flip phone here is 5G capable. But I was sort of hoping with this nationwide rollout I'd have better coverage. Don't look like it. Oh well. So as you can see, friend and family, we're out in the Focus. On again, a rainy day. Yep. Been raining all day. Nothing bad. And it's currently 46 degrees. Temperature's been falling all day. When I woke up, it's 58. Now, it's 46. So you might wonder why we're out in the Focus. Well, we're going to take a ride and see just what our little world here in rural South Alabama looks like after the nationwide 5G rollout. See if life's returned to normal. Because when I got up this morning, made my coffee, checked my news feed, I didn't see any reports of planes having any issues. Now granted, AT&T and Verizon said they wouldn't turn on some towers within close proximity to major airports. And apparently that's 81 of all the thousands of airports we have that they didn't turn it on. How far of a distance from the airport? I think they said the airlines wanted 2 miles. I'm not absolutely certain that AT&T and Verizon did that. But another thing I saw is the FAA came out, which had restricted flights from airlines that were using the Boeing 777 wide-body jets, saying, they couldn't fly. Well, then this morning, the FAA has already cleared all of the Boeing 777s to be able to fly again, even with nationwide 5G rollout. It's amazing what can happen overnight. And I also saw that airlines, international flights from Air India, who'd canceled flights, and Emirates Airlines said they were resuming flights. Emirates said they'd have all their flights resumed by Saturday, and Air India has already done it. And then I went to Flight Tracker, radar, and I looked and I could clearly see that JAL, that's Japanese Airlines, was flying into the West Coast. So was Chinese Airways, Nippon, FedEx, DHL. Pretty much looked like life is back to normal. So hey, apparently we averted a crisis, or we had a miracle overnight. I'll let you decide which one. But I thought I'd take a ride and see if I can find any of them towers, close to me. Because as far as I know, I don't have a cell tower close to me. You saw how many bars I had. And there are times when I have only one or none. So let's take a ride and see what it's like out there after the nationwide 5G rollout in my area, because it's alive. Well, hello there again, friends and family. As you can see, we're in a whole different location. We were in the driveway, and now we have transwarped to a totally different location, about 3.5 miles as the crow flies. And that's what's important to remember about radio frequencies and electromagnetic radiation. It don't travel by road. It travels in straight lines. Yep, don't do curves either. But in front of you, you can see with a little blinky red light on, is the closest cell tower to my home. And as I said, it's actually 3.48 miles from the house. Hence why my service is pretty bad. And sometimes I don't even have any. It all depends on weather conditions. But I wanted to start here, and that's why we transwarped to here, rather than drive up here is I want to go from here back down through town and see if we can see any more of these here cell towers. And keep an eye out for those new 5G towers, which they won't quite look like that big one. That's a 4G. Well, it was probably a 3G, then a 4G. And as you saw, my service to my home is currently 4G. Now, there may be 5G in my area, but my phone can't utilize it. And that would mean I'd have to get a new phone. And see, you may have to do that too, unless you have actually recently upgraded and your phone is 5G capable. Of course, that begs the question, why now to utilize that 5G 10 times faster, 80 times faster than 4G, you're going to have to buy a new phone. Imagine that. And I'll bet it's going to be pricey. For now, I'm going to stick with my little old 4G flip phone. It ain't quite a smartphone, but then again, it ain't quite a dumb phone. Yeah, I can get internet on it if I wanted to, but I don't. I don't use my phone for internet or streaming or any of that. Not much on texting either. In fact, I hate it. I mean, why text somebody when all you gotta do is bring up their name, ring it up, and chat with them? I've never understood the texting deal. Apparently, I'm the only one that don't understand it, because everybody seems to prefer it, even my children and all my friends. But they all know you can text me, the likelihood of getting an answer back is probably not very good. But if y'all see any of those 5G antennae or another cell tower, you just ring out. I mean, there's a whole passel of you here in the car. I think we got at least 20 of you stuffed in, along with those riding in the rumble seat, i.e. the trunk. Nobody's on the roof today, it being chilly and damp outside. But so far, I haven't seen anything that looks like 5G antenna. And I already know, probably not going to see another cell tower. Now you may be wondering what a 5G antenna looks like. Well, you can Google that. It's actually significantly different by a long shot than what we were looking at over there on that big huge 90-foot tower with the little blinky red light on top. In fact, 5G isn't even put up at that height. From what I gather and the research I've done, 5G is mounted to things like power poles, street light poles, on top of buildings, on the side of buildings, stuff of that nature. Because it takes literally thousands and thousands of them to cover an area, because 5G only can travel anywhere from 500 to 1,000 feet, unlike 4G, which can travel up to 3 miles. But then again, 5G is high frequency. 4G is lower frequency. But you can look all that technical stuff up, or I can do an engineering video on all that if you'd like. But there are people out there as smarter than Mr. Tom that have already done that on YouTube. But it does look like business. Lost my train of thought there for a minute, but it does look like business is proceeding as normal. Don't see anything so far abnormal. So from what I gather, all of life is normal again after our nationwide 5G rollout. Now, if you know different in your area, and that's part of the reason doing this video, is because there's a bunch of y'all out there. Maybe you can enlighten all of us in our community to what you're actually seeing, not hearing, seeing in your local areas and communities. Pardon the windshield wipers. It's misting. That's just the way it is. On one of those dreary, damp days in the deep south. It seems to be a reoccurring thing. Could it have been that with the nationwide rollout of 5G, that's what caused the rain to come? I'm sure there are people out there that will probably believe that, along with so many other myths and creations, some which may be true and some which may be not. Such is the way of media these days, whether it's mainstream or social media. Now, I'm keeping an eyeball out on all the poles, the rooftops, like you would think there's going to be one. It'd be on our city hall. Nah, didn't see one. Ooh, the lake is slap pool. Maybe there's one of those new 5G antennas up here on our police department building. I see some antennas, but I'm thinking those have always been there. I think that's for like radios, you know, police radios. They don't look like, oh, I found one. Let me show you. We're going to have to turn around here. Of course, we're on Main Street in what I refer to as Old Town. And right behind our water tower here is one of them there new 5G towers. I'm thinking that's what it looks like. Let me just whoop in here real quick. Let's see if you can see it. I'm going to have to move the camera up so you can see it better. So hold on. There it is. There it is right there. I never noticed it, but it does appear like it's been there for quite some time, don't it? Yep, probably has, but I just didn't notice it. Well, let's see if we can go find some more. What do y'all think? Y'all want to keep on riding? Hey, I might get you a snack later if they're all good. So yeah, let's keep on the ride. We'll head her on through here. They're actually getting ready to blast our water tank and repaint it. Yep, it needs it too. Starting to see the rust come through. So we're going to head her on down. Well, maybe not. I don't know how we're going to get out of here, but we're going to give it a try. Maybe this way. Well, we'll just take a right here and head on down through this side of Old Town. Sorry for all the vibrating cars, just, you know, they get cold natured. There's some more of them there bumpity bumps. They're everywhere. And I think you just drop seeds for them too and they sprout. I mean, for most of my time here, we didn't have them. Whoops, somebody's calling me. Let me check. It was a spam call. Imagine that. So we just made a little loop here. We'll go back up traffic light. We'll head her on down on Main and then whip a right and go down Gilmer, right down through the center of Tallahassee. Now across from us, that's a radio station. Yep, WACQ. One of two of our local AM FM radio stations. Well, the high school's in session. They don't appear to be affected. I'm sure the kids, they were anticipating the rollout of that 5G. Yeah, since they've been born, they've always had cell phones. It's their thing. Not so much for me. I was actually surprised to notice that tower, because by the looks of it, you know, it looks like it's been there a while, and I just never noticed it. I guess it just hid back behind the water tower. So, if indeed it's 5G, but it's probably 4G 5G, from what I read. 5G integrates with 4G, and 4G is going to be the bridge between 5G cities. So you have 5G in and around urban and metro areas, and you can see that on maps if you look it up on Google, and then 4G in all the surrounding areas. And from what I've read, that's exactly what's going to happen. 5G will transfer to 4G and across the country or your state to another 5G activated area. But all in all, it doesn't appear that life here in my small town in Alabama has changed any today. Nope. In fact, y'all probably getting bored out of your brains, wondering why even do this. Well, I want to take a ride. Today's Thursday. Last time I took a road trip was Sunday during the snow apocalypse. Remember when we did that? And if I can find some pictures of the differences between 4G and 5G cell antennae and towers, I will put them on the end of this video once we get back to the house, so you can see indeed any differences there may be. So when you're out and about in your area and neighborhoods and communities, you can keep an eye out for them too and see if you got any of them close to you, because you might not. Because even though they enacted it nationwide, for the most part, the vast majority of the country will still be utilizing 4G. from what I saw on the map this morning, it's primarily in the cities. I mean, 5G Ultra is special. Now, I don't know what the difference is between just 5G and 5G Ultra. I think it's faster, more data download, stuff of that nature. But I'm not really 100% sure, just off the top of my head. But yeah, we're about to head out of town here, heading west on Gilmer, which is actually Highway 14 west. 229 runs with it for a while, up until we get up here. And then 229 shoots off to the northwest. That's one of the ways we can go up to the lake, which we took y'all up there during the snow apocalypse. Yep. We came back on 229 south, remember? Woo! Look at Walmart. I don't care what time of day or night, that place is just jammed. Yep, surely is. That's surely, not surely. Of course, I guess they both sound the same when we Southerners say it, huh? Now, I didn't see another cell tower. Now, I'll probably have to watch this video closer myself, see if I missed any. And so far, I only spotted that one, hiding behind the water tower. And I'm sure that covers, you know, Old Town there, the center of what used to be Tallahassee. Well, it still is. Not that much is going on, you know, because now it's all along this highway. 14 and 229 are better known as Gilmer Avenue, straight through. But we're at the edge of town now, so it don't take that long, does it? And we're gonna turn on around. Yep. Then we're gonna head it on back. See if I missed anything. But as far as I can tell by all the news feeds and looking at flight track radar and everything's pretty much back to normal, or as normal as we've seen over the last 3 years. You know, it's that new normal thing, right? They keep saying we can't go back to the old normal. And I believe that. Now, you will see a tower out there way out in the distance. It's sort of a white red with the blinky light on top of that's been there ever since I've lived in Tallahassee. So that is a radio tower. Not a cell tower. Like I say, that's been there forever. But I've been looking at all the telephone poles. There's one of our emergency sirens right there on that pole. You might have missed it. It was up at the top. It's yellow. Looks like that big horn. Now, there is some thought and allegations, especially within the cities, that the cell companies have been disguising the 5G antennae. Yep, I have read that. I have seen some pictures. Don't know how widespread that is or why they'd want to do it. That's real nice. They refurbished that building. Did you see that? It used to be all broken down, red brick. Yeah, that actually used to be a car dealership. Way back, I'm talking 30s, 40s, 50s, yeah. Glad to see it. anybody who wants to improve our little town, they got my full support. It's a good thing. Well, looky there. We could go get us a double cheese bundle for $3.39 at McDonald's. I guess you get a double cheeseburger and a small order of fries by the looks of it. You don't even get a drink for that. No. Now I gotta admit, McDonald's double cheese, when they're made fresh with those little onions, they're jam up. I love those little things. And I'll be the first to admit, money available, and it's got to be my mad money, side of my wallet. If there's a little bit in there, and I'm out and about, and I may have not eaten a while, or at all that day, I may enjoy McDonald's double cheese a time or two in the year. Nothing last year. We had them at least one time. Yep, we had a Big Mac once, and I think we had a quarter pounder. Of course, Kitty Crew's always getting them McNuggets. Well, it would appear, and I'm sure if I go further southeast as we are traveling now, I would find more towers going out the other side of town. But I'm not going to do that, because that's just getting further and further and further away from me. In fact, as the crow flies, up by Walmart and the Acapulco Grill where we were to the west, I was about 3.5 miles from the house. And hadn't seen another cell tower. Now they say 5G has been enabled, you know, around the Verizon stores. I did read that. In fact, that's starting in 2019. That was one of the more common places for it to be turned on. I didn't see no antenna there, so I don't know if our little tiny one has such. But now that I mentioned McDonald's cheeseburgers, and I got all of y'all along, somebody's kneeing me in the back. Apparently somebody wants to stop in and get a snack. So Jax is here. That's what I'm going to do. McDonald's can keep their stuff. It ain't going to be much, so y'all going to have to cut this up. Everybody will get like a snack, an appetizer. We got a little mad money. Not a lot. I had to pay bills this morning.
Thanks for stopping at Jack. Can I take...
Yeah, do you have, let's see, the 2 cheeseburgers. Number 5.
Yeah, we have 2 cheeseburger combo and we have 2 hamburger combos.
Well, I just want the 2 sandwiches.
You don't want no fries or the drink?
No, ma'am, just the 2 sandwiches for $3.38 will be just fine.
All right.
Appreciate it.
All right, drive forward.
See, we got 2 cheeseburgers. Can you remember back in the day when all we could get, back when we were growing up, was a hamburger and a cheeseburger? That was it. You know, small fries, Coke, milkshake, stuff of that nature. That was way before Big Macs, quarter pounders, all that stuff. So that's what we're going to split today. 2 Jack's cheeseburgers. They're yummy.
Hello, how are you today?
Hello, how are you today?
$3.72.
Thank you, ma'am. Y'all doing good?
So far.
Appreciate you.
All right, you have a good day.
You too, ma'am. Thank you very much. Well, there we go. We got us 2 cheeseburgers for I think they said $3.71. They're $3.38 with tax. Yeah, that's something we don't often think about. Everybody complains about their federal income tax, their state tax, estate tax, property tax. But that whole thing of every time you buy something, we have to pay, this side of the river is 10%. Other side of the river, where I live, is 8%. Some cities close to me are 11 and 12%. Yep. And that's everything you buy. And I'll tell you what, it's still early in the year. You want to be real miserable by the end of the year, you keep your receipts from everything you buy, no matter what. Gas, food, everything. And plus you get taxed on your utilities, on your phone, and then sit down next January and add all that up. I will guarantee you it'll make you cry worse than your federal income taxes. I've done it. It will shock you out of your pants or your dress, depending on who you may be. But yep, we didn't find many cell towers, so that's probably why. Here in my little area, life is the way it was even before yesterday and the 5G national rollout. Nothing happened. We still get cheeseburgers, still get all kinds of chicken. Yeah, we could have got a Big Mac, quarter pounder. But hey, I was digging out coins out of the couch. Not really. I took that out of the console, where I always, when I get change, I pop the top of my console, dump it in there. If it's like a dollar bill, $2 and change, I just pop it all in there. It's sort of like the Focus emergency fund. If you're ever out and about, credit card machine's down, an EMP is hit, CME, power grid's down, and you need gas. Yeah, internet's down. You better have you some cash on hand when you're out in your car. I would say, at the very least, enough, depending on where you are and how you commute, enough to get you back home. Because yeah, a store could have a generator to keep up, delivering gas and keep the lights on. But if it's an EMP or a CME, that internet will be down. Therefore, credit card and debit card transactions cannot be processed. Yep, that's fact. So, this is nothing but, a short ride. Well, probably not short as many would like, the youngins. But for all my long-time viewers, y'all load up all in the car, and we head out for a ride just to see what we can see, and see how life is after such crises are averted. Well, I'm just so glad and thankful. And I think maybe God had a hand in it. What do you think? And he averted the disaster that could have been the 5G apocalypse. Similar to that Y2K that we all lived through, which we all know what happened the next day there too. Yep. Woke up to a nothing burger. Of course, I didn't get to sleep till sometime in the afternoon of the next day. Had to stay at the plant all throughout the day and night to make sure operations continued as normal. Not to my great surprise, but my management's great surprise, it did. Of course, they accredited that to me and my engineering prowess, and since they were being all congratulatory and complimentary, I didn't have the heart to tell them I didn't do a whole lot. Reset some computers, you know, rebooted them, let them think it was 1840. Didn't want to break computers hard either, remember? And life went on. So it looks like today, life will go on after the 5G rollout nationwide. Y'all get your hands out of that bag. Wait till we get to the house, because I've got to cut those burgers up into little snack sized portions. And there ain't enough where everybody gets one. What do you think I am, Rockefeller? No. And the kitty crew, they'll be sniffing that burger. So we might lose one right there to the kitty crew. Of course, I have to scrape everything off it, and then I get to eat the bun, the pickles, you know, ketchup, mustard, stuff of that nature. So we're back at the house. And I was going to pick up limbs today, but like I say, it's been raining off and on all day. It's been damp, chilly, and miserable. So, we didn't do that. We stayed inside, did some things in the kitchen and the house, and then we went for a ride with all of you to make sure we survived. So y'all, we need to run on in the house, divide up our burgers. You know, I got some soft drinks. I got some Canadian? No, Canada Dry, ginger ale. Yeah. Picked it up while we were out. You didn't see me. That was all part of that time warp up to the nearest cell tower that I thought was the nearest, because I didn't know about the one in the center of Old Town. And I'm still not sure whether that's 4G or 5G. I got to go in and look all that up too. But I do hope you enjoyed the little ride along, and I hope wherever you are in your area that things are back to normal. There were no consequences. But let me know in the comments below. And let's keep it civil, not jump each other, talk bad about each other, or argue. You know, there's no need for all that, you know. And anything to do with the pandemic and all that stuff, just leave it out of the comments, okay? Let's just have a cordial discussion of what you saw in your area. Not what you thought, or what you think, or what you believe. What you've seen. I'd be interested, and I'm sure everybody here would be too. So until I see you, the kitty crew, which is out and about, currently in the carport. See y'all on the next video. Y'all take care, stay safe, and God bless each and every one of you as you bless others. Goodbye for now. Yep, I'm hungry. I know they're all hungry. Yep, time to get her on out.